Here's what Stephen Miller had to say, obviously one of President Trump's top advisors, about the video that you and your colleagues made.
It is insurrection, plainly, directly, without question. These lawmakers should honestly resign in disgrace and never return to public office again for even daring to think, let alone to say these words and to say them proudly.
Tonight, several Democratic lawmakers who once served in the military or the intelligence community are calling on active duty service members to disobey any illegal orders they might receive from President Trump and his administration.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
Now, that video prompted some furious reaction, not just from inside the White House, but also from the second in command at the Department of Justice this evening.
I'm not convicting anybody tonight on this show, but I will tell you something, and that is this is a disgusting and inappropriate display of supposed leadership from the Democrat Party. These men and women should not have described themselves as former members of the military or former members of the intelligence community. They should have described themselves as Democrats who lost and Democrats who don't like the result of last November, because there is no laws being violated. There are no orders that are being given that are unconstitutional or illegal. And the fact that these folks came out and encouraged our young men and women, who are all, many of them armed, to defy court orders is something that we have to take a very close look at, and I promise you, Sean, that we will.
My source tonight is one of the Democratic lawmakers in that video, and of course that is Congressman Jason Crow of Colorado, a veteran himself. And thank you, sir, for being here. What do you make of the Deputy Attorney General saying that they are going to take a very close look at you and your colleagues?
Well, it's wild to me that Trump world gets really bent out of shape whenever anybody, whether it's me or anyone else for that matter, reminds people that they have to follow the law. Whether that's military, law enforcement, ICE officers, people of the administration. If we say you have an obligation to follow the law and the Constitution, they take really great exception to that, and frankly, that's telling.
Why did you feel obligated to make a video reminding military troops that they should refuse illegal orders?
Before I was going to deploy with my is their obligation. This president has made a series of very, very disturbing comments that would indicate that he is threatening to use the military in an unlawful way. So it's really important that we have a conversation about what people need to do if that happens.
Well, and of course, you got a Bronze Star for your time there in 2003. Obviously, I think is a good thing to remind people of. But have you heard from members of the military currently that are worried that they might get an illegal order? I mean, I just think that's the question of to what prompted this.
Yeah, no, I absolutely have. I have a lot of friends, a lot of connections. Folks are very worried. I mean, this president has put our military in very, very difficult situations already, sending troops into cities, threatening to go to war with the city of Chicago, threatening to shoot protesters in Lafayette Square in the first Trump administration, alluding to maybe using the military at polling stations, which actually is against U.S. law. That would be a criminal violation, and if he did that, that would put our soldiers in a position of potentially violating law. So there's a lot of track record here that is very concerning, which is why it's important for us to have this discussion and remind those men and women who we stand by that they have obligations and they have people who will support them.
Here's what Stephen Miller had to say, obviously one of President Trump's top advisors, about the video that you and your colleagues made.
It is insurrection, plainly, directly, without question. These lawmakers should honestly resign in disgrace and never return to public office again for even daring to think, let alone to say these words and to say them proudly.
What's your response to Stephen Miller?
Well, it's what I just said. You know, Stephen Miller thinks that reminding people that they should follow the Constitution and the rule of law is insurrection. You know, listen, I was in the House gallery on January 6th. I was surrounded by the mob that Donald Trump and his minions summoned to beat police officers and try to derail our Constitution a couple of years ago. I know an insurrection when I see one, and reminding people to follow the Constitution is actually the opposite of that.
Whose idea was the video?
We worked together as a group, Congress, Senator Slotkin, Senator Kelly, all of us have gotten together. We've talked about the best way to support our troops, those men and women that we have great love and affection for. How can we send a message that America is with them, thinking about them, and that there are people on Capitol Hill who will have their back if they're put into a very difficult situation.
Congressman Jason Crow, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.